Assalamu alaikum everyone. So for this video, in today's video, I will make a brief revision about our upcoming math final exam. So let's start with our first lesson, which is solve equations with variables on both sides. So as you can see here, we have a real life application. From this word problem, we created an equation. So that's our equation, okay? These are the steps that are mentioned how to solve this equation if you have variables on both sides. So step number one, you need to collect the variables on both sides. So the easiest way to do this is by using inverse operations. You subtract 4x from both sides, and then you end up with 6x and 4x to be on the same side. Okay, then the second step is to isolate the variable using inverse operation, and then finally you find the value of x. Okay, so I'm going now to show you a faster way that will help you solve the equation quickly. So step number one, again, we're gonna apply the same steps. We will get the variables, collect the variables to be on one side of the equation. So in order to know this, we have to identify our variables and we have to identify the numbers that we have. So any letters that you guys have in the equation, if you have any letters 6x, 2x, if you have the letters y, w, d, these are all called variables, okay? And the numbers alone are just called constants, okay? So now the easiest way to solve this equation is we are going to, in order to get 2x with 6x, we're just going to do something very simple. We will switch locations, okay? So we will change the locations of 4 and negative 2x. But you have to know something. When you guys change location, that doesn't mean you take negative 2x to be and put it as it is. No, you will have to do a slight change, which is you need to change the sign of 2x. So here I'm gonna bring 6x down, okay? And negative 2x, because I'm taking it to the other side of the equation, it will turn into positive 2x. So be careful. When you guys change the location of the numbers and variables, make sure to change the sign, okay? If it's positive, will turn into negative. If it's negative, will turn into positive. And positive 4 is positive, as you can see, it's going to become negative 4. And here 12 is negative, or minus 12. I'm just gonna bring it down. So now that's it. Now let's simplify our equations. Second step will be to combine like terms. So I know 6x and 2x are like terms. Why? Because they have the same variable x. So I can easily add them. 6x plus 2x, that will be 8x equals, okay. Now for this lesson, you guys, you need to remember the skills of adding and subtracting, multiplying as well, and dividing integers. So remember, for adding and subtracting, we use SADs. You know, if they are the same sign, what does it mean? SA means same sign, add and keep. That's it. DS means different signs, subtract and take the sign of the greater number. So for addition and subtraction, we use SADs. For multiplication and division, we use the faces. Okay, same sign. If they are both negative, we are happy, positive. If they are both, if you are dividing one negative integer with one positive, then we are sad. The sign will be negative. The answer will be negative. Okay, so remember these two rules for integers. Adding and subtracting, we use SADs. Multiplication and division, we use the faces. Same sign, we are happy. Different signs, we are upset, sad, negative. Okay, now as you can see, 4 is negative, 12 is negative. So what are we going to do? We will add them. So 12 plus 4, that will be 16, and the sign will be negative. Again, same sign, add and keep the sign. Okay, now the second step will be just to isolate the variable. I want to keep. Again, why we're solving equations? We're solving equations in order to find the value of the variable, to find the value of x alone. I don't want anything next to x. So your next job is to isolate x. That means you should get rid of the 8 that's with x. Now, we all know that 8 and x, they have a multiplication relationship. 8x, it's the same as 8 times x. So the opposite of multiplication is division. So I'm going to divide both sides by 8. So 8 divided by 8, it's equal to 1. That means x equal 16 divided by 8, it's a 2, and the sign will be negative. Why? Because different signs will give you a negative integer. Okay, you guys? And the final answer will be negative 2. That's it. Okay, let's try to solve one more question with the same idea. So here we're going to apply the same steps. Step number 1, our job is to collect the variables on one side, numbers on the other side. So as you can see, which two numbers you guys need to switch. Identify the two numbers that you guys need to switch. That will be 4x and 18. We will switch their positions and negative 2x will go down. 4x, when I bring it to the other side, it's going to become negative 4x. Because it's positive, it will change to negative. 18, when I move it to the other side, it's going to become negative 18. And now, second step, combine like terms. Negative 2x minus 4x. As you guys can see, they are the same sign. So we will add and keep the sign. So it's the same as 2 plus 4 equals 6x. And the sign will be negative, okay? Please be careful. It doesn't matter if it's a variable or you're adding variables, adding and subtracting variables or numbers. You have to use the same rule. Same sign, add and keep, okay? On the other side, I have negative 18. I'm just going to bring it down. Now, your next third task is to isolate the variable to find the value of x alone. How are you going to do this? By dividing both sides by negative 6. Be careful. You divide, you don't divide with 6. Many students I saw, they are dividing with 6x. So you guys, please be careful. This is wrong. The idea of solving equation is to keep x alone, not to move it again to the other side, okay? So you have to divide with the coefficient of x, by the coefficient of x, by the number that's next to x, okay? And you divide, you take the number and its sign, because we just want x. We don't want negative x. We want the value of x alone. So negative 6 divided by negative 6 equals to 1. They're gone. So I have 1x left equals 18 divided by 6. That will be 3, and the sign, of course, will be positive. Why positive? Because when you divide or multiply, same sign here, same sign, we are happy. So in this question, the value of x is positive 3. And this is, you guys, how you solve equations with variables on both sides. Step number 1, you will have to collect the variables on one side by just changing their position. Step number 2, you will need to combine like terms, and finally isolate the variable by using inverse operations. Okay, next one. This is all for the first lesson, which is solve equations with variables on both sides. So my advice to you guys, practice solving as many equations as you can. Because really, once you guys have solved enough equations, it's gonna be with you a piece of cake, okay? It's gonna be a piece of cake for you. So practice makes perfect. Okay, now moving on to our second lesson. Understand likelihood and probability. Okay, first of all, you guys, you have to be aware of each definition. You have to know the definitions by heart. What's a probability? A probability, it's the chance that something will happen, or maybe it will happen, maybe it will not happen. How do we express probability? We express it by using numbers, okay? The numbers usually are from 0 to 1. Okay, we could be writing it, let's look down. We could be writing it, this 0 to 1, the numbers could be written as fractions. They could be written as decimals. Look, we have fractions, we have decimals, or as a percent. For you guys, just focus on writing it as a fraction. Okay, so now after you guys find the probability, you need to describe it. We use something called likelihood. So likelihood, it's the chance of something to happen. How do we express it? We describe it using words. Okay, so after you find the probability, you need to describe it for me using a word. So please focus on this one. When they tell you to find the probability, it means they want from you a number. Usually it's a fraction. When they tell you to find the likelihood, they want from you a word. Okay, so what words we're talking about? For example, 0 chances. The probability is 0. What does that mean? It means it's impossible to happen. The probability is 1/4, yani you have 25%, it's unlikely to happen. Okay, if the probability is half, exactly half, that means you have equal chances of happening. It could happen, it could not happen. Okay, so this is called equally likely. 50%, it's the equally likely. And if you have more than half, if the number exceeds half into 75%, for example, it's going to be likely, and most likely it's gonna happen. 75%, it's happening. And if the probability is 100% sure, you guys, it's gonna happen, so we call it a certain. You use the word certain to describe it. Okay, so these keywords you guys should memorize by heart. Even make sure that you write the spelling correctly. Okay, so this is regarding 9.1. We have something called the outcomes. The outcomes basically means the results that you guys get when you do any simple event, just like tossing the coin, tossing the coin, rolling the dice, spinning a wheel. So these are all different events. Once the event happens, you get an outcome from it. These outcomes, we call them results. Okay, so now let's do a quick example. You guys need to know also, how do we find the probability? There is a formula for it. It's the number of favorable outcomes divided by the total possible outcomes. Let's apply it on this question. So here I have Carrie, she rolled a number cube, the dice, and it's rolled, of course, it's labeled from 1 to 6. We all know the dice. So what is the probability that she will roll a 2? Okay, so we need to find the probability. We're not going to write the whole word. We just say P for probability. P of getting 2. Okay, you guys? So as you can see, on the side, what I suggest you guys can do is list the outcomes. List the outcomes. Write them down. So what does it mean 1 to 6? So when you roll the dice, that means the outcomes will be either you get number 1, either you get number 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. And then you close it. You use these braces to list the outcomes. Okay, now your job is just to check the outcomes and see what are the chances of you guys getting a 2. So if you guys notice, here, you have only 1 2. So that means the probability of getting a 2 will be 1 out. The favorable outcome, which is getting a 2, will be 1. Out of the total number of outcomes, I have 6 outcomes. Okay? So this is the first part of the question. When they tell you what is the probability, it means they want from you a number. Now, in the second part, they're asking you to describe the likelihood. So as you can see, 1 out of 6, it's way less than half. So 1 out of 6, it's less than half. So it's going to be unlikely. Okay. So, okay, dear students, again, if you want to describe the likelihood, always compare it to the half. We know the half is 50% equally likely. The half, it doesn't have to be giving to you as 1 out of 2. It could be giving to you as 2 out of 4, 3 out of 6, 5 out of 10, 4 out of 8. So always, when you want to describe the likelihood, compare it to the half. If it's less than 2 out of 4 or 4 out of 8, it's going to be unlikely. 0 exactly, we know it. 0 and 1, they're easy, impossible and certain. More than half, it's going to be likely. So think of it this way. Always compare it to the half. Okay? Tamam. Let's move on now to the second question. What's the probability that you will roll a number less than 7? So we want P less than 7. That will be equal. Check out the outcomes again. We go back here and check. Do you have a number that's less than 7? Yep, you do. Actually, all of them are less than 7. So I'm going to take 6. That will be all of them, 6. And the total outcomes, that's 6. And if you guys simplify it, 6 divided by 6 equals to 1. So the likelihood will be certain. Certainly, you guys are going to get a number less than 6. Less than 7, I mean. Okay. Here, the final one. What's the probability that you will roll a number greater than 6? So you write P greater than 6, and you check. Do you have a number that's a greater than 6 in the outcomes, in this list of outcomes? Obviously, we don't, so we're going to put our answer will be 0 out of 6, and 0 divided by 6, that's a 0. So our likelihood will be impossible. So you guys, for this lesson, you just have to find the probability and you need to describe it. Find it, it means give me a number. Describe it, use a word. That's it. The questions will be one number, one word. No need to overthink it. Okay, now, still here we have, this is a really important question. I suggest you solve all the similar questions related to it. Okay, so here we have Henry's going to color a spinner with, we have the spinner, it's cut into 10 equal pieces. Okay, this is a spinner cut into 10 equal sections. Okay, I'm gonna try to draw it. These are 8 sections. Where do I put the 5th one? Okay, it's not working. So let's put it here. Yalla. Okay, imagine they're equal because he said what? Equal sized sections. So what are you going to do? He said 3 of the sections will be orange color. Let's use yellow. 3 will be orange. Okay, and 7 sections will be purple. Okay, let's use purple. 7 sections, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so you guys, what do you think? Is this spinner fair? This is the question that you guys must answer. Is it a fair spinner? Definitely, you guys, your answer will be no. It's not a fair spinner. Why? Because you have more purple sections than orange sections. So this is how you should write your final answer. Then they're telling you, if not, how can you make the spinner a fair spinner? How can you make it 50-50? Well, the way you can make it 50-50 is you need to color. Okay, you need to color 2 more sections with orange. Then you will have 5 orange and 5 purple. Okay, so solve any similar question that you find in the book or the study pack that we sent you guys. Okay, I will leave the writing for you. Okay, so now we are done with 9.1. Moving on to our third lesson, which is about 9.6, how to find the probabilities of compound events. First of all, we need to know what's a compound event. A compound event, it's basically 2 events or more happening at the same time. For example, rolling the dice and tossing the coin, spinning the wheel, rolling the dice. You use it actually in your daily life when you have 3 different t-shirts and you have 2 different pants and you want to mix and match. So the green one will go with jeans, the red one will go with black pants, and so on. This is actually why probability is important even in your daily life. So this is also a compound event. T-shirts and pants, getting your outfits every day. So this is the meaning of compound event. The sample space, basically, it's all the possible outcomes that you guys will get from any experiment. Okay, let's start with this example. We have here an example where you need to flip and spin. So the question is asking you what's the probability that you're gonna get a head and blue. If you want to win the prize, you have to get head and you have to get a blue color together. In order to find the probability for this event, what do we need to do? We need to draw a tree diagram. We need to find all the possible outcomes. How am I going to find all the possible outcomes? I have 3 ways. I can draw a tree diagram, I can make a table, or I can make a list. So in the exam, you guys, we did not specify a certain way. We gave you the option to choose any way that you feel comfortable using. So let's just start with the tree diagram. First of all, when you guys flip the coin, what are you expected to get? It's easy, head or tail. And here, when you spin the wheel, you are expected to get red color, yellow color, green, or blue. I'm gonna use letters for each color. And so the first way is to make the tree diagram. The easiest way you can make it, start with any event that you want. For example, I want to start with the head. So head and tail. So if I toss the coin and I got a head, my options will be either when I spin the wheel, I will get red, either I will get yellow, I will get green, or I will get blue. The same thing for the tail. If I toss the dice and I got a tail, my second event will also have the same options. Either I'll get tail with red, tail with yellow, tail with green, and tail with blue. And that's it. I know it's not a fancy tree diagram, but if you guys do the same, that's it. Some of you may do it vertically like that. You can do head and here tail, and four options. Yeah, you can do it like that. Feel free to use any direction you want. Okay, some of you maybe will write it as a list. Actually, to be honest, the list comes from the tree. So the list that you guys are gonna get either HR, HY, HG, you know, you need to list all the outcomes, HB, and then you continue. Tail with red, tail with yellow, and so on. This is the list, okay? And the final one, it's the table. I'm gonna remove this. Okay, I'll write it here. Head and tail. Okay, the table, how you're gonna do it. First of all, identify which one you wanna start with. For the table, you basically need rows and columns. So start, for example, I'm gonna draw this one. I'm gonna start with 2 lines. I will put head here and tail here. That's my table. I will start like that. Then I need columns. Okay, let's see how many columns you guys need. You need 4. I have red, yellow, green, and blue. So that's my table. Okay. Oh no, these are supposed to be down. Let's just move it down. So you guys keep fixing your table. Why? Because I cannot put now head became an option with the red, yellow, and green. No, head and tail are in a different direction. Okay, you guys, complete your table. That's your table, it's ready. It's not fancy, I'm not using a ruler, but so I started with the rows, then I started with the columns, or you can start with columns, then rows. And that's it. Now you list your outcomes. I have either I will get head with red, either I will get head with the yellow, I'll get head with green, I'll get head with blue, I'll get tail with red, tail with yellow, tail with green, and tail with blue. That's it. These are my outcomes, okay? So you guys, either you can use the table or you can use the tree diagram or the list. Now let's go back to our question where they ask you what's the probability that you guys are going to get head and blue. Oh, for this one we use just normal parentheses. So what's the probability you guys are gonna get head and blue? You go ahead and you look at the head, of course. We're gonna exclude the tail because we want to get a head. So head with red, head with yellow, head with green, head with blue. That's my option. Okay, I'm gonna highlight it. I'm gonna circle it, highlight it. Here I'm gonna circle it, head with blue. That's my option. So that means, what's the probability of getting head and blue? That will be 1 out of how many total outcomes I have. So my favorable outcome will be 1, the event that I want, out of how many outcomes I have in total. As you can see, if you count them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, that will be 8. So that's the probability. It's gonna be 1/8. Okay, and here you can count them like that, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, just normal count. It's clear. Okay, tamam. Okay guys, I'm gonna show you also one way. Some of the questions they will ask you without having to do the tree diagram or the table or the list. They will ask you just one simple question: what are the total number of outcomes that you will get from tossing the coin and spinning this wheel? So I'll delete all of this. Okay. Okay, I hope this one is clear. I'm gonna delete it now. I'm gonna ask another question. They could be asking you just how many total outcomes you guys will have from tossing the coin and spinning the wheel. So in this case, you don't need to do the tree diagram or the table or the list. In this case, you just need to list the outcomes. From the coin, we will get 2 outcomes. From spinning this wheel, we will get 4 outcomes. And all you have to do is the total number of outcomes, 2 times 4, that will be 8 outcomes. Which is correct, because right now when we did it, we got 1 out of the total outcomes were 8. So this is how quickly you guys can use this way to double check whether your total outcomes are correct or not. Okay, so 2 times 4, that's 8, and that will be the total number of outcomes. Okay. You also have some direct questions in your book where they will just ask you, you know, I know it sounds like when you see it, it's a big word problem, it's a huge, but the answer is just one number. So don't let it scare you. So here we have a word problem. I'm gonna read the last question. What's the probability that Whitney will win prize 2? So we need Whitney and what are her chances in winning prize 2? So all you have to do is go find Whitney. Here is Whitney. And what are her chances in winning prize 2? That's it. So her chances will be 1 out of how many outcomes I have in total? Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1 out of 9. That's the answer. Okay? The same thing will go for A. What is the probability that the pointer will stop on 3 and the coin will land on head? So you need 3 and heads together. You go to the table and you find head with 3. So head 1, head 2, head 3, that's it. So that will be 1 out of the total number of outcomes. You count all of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, sorry. Okay, 6, 7, 8. That will be 1 out of 8. That's the answer. Okay, the final one, you guys need to know what's an odd number. What's the probability that the pointer will stop? Odd number and you will get head. You need an odd number with a head. So let's look at the heads. So head with 1, you ask yourself, is 1 an odd number? Yes, it is. Is 2 an odd number? No, we can't take it. Head and 3. Is 3 an odd number? Yeah, it is. So the answer will be 3 out of 8. No, sorry, it's gonna be 2 out of 8. We have only 2 outcomes, favorable outcomes, out of the total 8. You guys, if you want to simplify this, just divide by 2. Divide by 2 is gonna be 1/4. But it's okay if you just write 2/8, keep it the same. The answer will still be correct. Okay, that's it for the first 3 lessons.